Okay, good morning, all of you. So let's start. In the last lecture, we have discussed about the basics of 8086, why we are gonna study this subject first of all. So this will be treated as the base for learning the IoT subject in future. This will give you the idea how processor normally works, which are the stuff actually required to make a processor. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to go nearer to our hardware. So how our hardwares are associated with our processor, what our processor respond to our hardware, how it responds, all that sort of stuff we are going to study. We'll take example of 8086. So this will be the model. Currently we are not using this processor and it is not used anywhere. This is for the study purpose. So if you know the basic concept of this processor, you can apply the same concepts on current processor also. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Please respond because I already told you uh, it feels like I'm teaching to computer if someone is not responding, right? So better give response. So today what we'll do is we'll start with the introduction of 8086. Like what is the architecture of 8086, what it do, all that sort of stuff. So I'm presenting my screen. Just respond me that you are able to see it or not. And if someone is trying to enter into the studio and if I'm not able to enter him or her, just unmute your microphone and let me know so I can go to studio and okay. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now 8086 is a processor, and as you can see over here, this is the block diagram of 8086. This is the logical block diagram. In physical form, if you gonna see that 8086 chip, physically it will look like this. This is your processor. In real world, it will look like this 40 pin processor, right? And it, so currently we are having square processor. So suppose if you gonna see Intel i5 processor, right? So images, it will look like this. This is actually your Intel i5. In motherboard, it will look like this, which is having lots of stuff inside this much of the surface with lots of pin outside. So same way, your 8086 is having 40 pins in a chip, but internally it will look like this. And how internally it will make like this? We have studied gates, decoder, multiplexer, everything in our digital electronics subject. So that's how digital electronics is connected with this subject. In that chip, they include all that hardware stuff, gates, multiplexer, decoder, and all. And in a chip, they will make it. So we'll start with the block diagram of 8086. If you can see it carefully, your processor is divided into two parts. One is called EU, execution unit, and one is called BIU, bus interface unit. And this part is connected with memory interface. So it is attached with memory. EU is execution unit, so all the logical processing work is performed over here. This is bus interface unit, so all the fetching of data, putting the data on the memory, that part is covered over here in BIU. If you can read it over here, 8086 CPU is divided into two independent function parts, the bus interface unit and execution unit, divided work, right? I think someone is trying to enter. Let me enter. Okay. So same way the part like work of bus is to communicate with the memory and execution unit. BIU work is what? It deal with memory as well as EU. It takes the data from this, give it to this. This part is processing something, give it back to BIU. BIU put it to memory. This is how your 8086 work. Now let's discuss each and every component of this part. Now, if you can, okay, let's start with execution unit first, as it is discussed over here. Now, in execution unit, if you can see it carefully, you are having different registers available. These registers are on-board CPU registers, right? Each registers in execution unit are of 16 bit. So if I write AX, AX is of 16 bit, and that full register is again divided into two parts, higher bit and lower bit. So AH and AL. AH is of 8 bit, AL is of 8 bit. Same way we are having four general purpose register, AH, AX, BX, CX and DX. If I am using X word, that means it is 16-bit register. If it is divided into two parts, you can use any of them, higher bit or lower bit. That's why it is AH or AL. In future, if you read any material and if you find AEX, then it is extended X. So that means it is 32-bit register. Okay. If it is 16-bit register, we'll use AX. But if it is AEX, it is extended register, 32-bit. But so currently it is not there because our 8086 is 16-bit microprocessor. Now keep in mind, our 8086 is 16-bit microprocessor. Why it is called 16-bit? Now our data bus is of, okay, all of you getting? Somebody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, as we have discussed in the last lecture, we have data bus, control bus and address bus, right? Any computer is having these three things. Processor is having these three things: data bus, control bus and address bus. Address bus is used to find out which address we need to looking for in memory. Data bus will carry the data from that memory and control bus will tell you that you need to read something or write something, right? That is how it works. So in 8086, we are having address bus of 20 bit. If you want to write it down because I will ask you some questions based on this. Your data bus is of 16 bit. Your address bus is of 20 bit. What that mean? My address bus is having the size of 20 bit. If my address bus size is 20 bit, what is the maximum amount of memory that I can access using 20 bit address bus? Can you tell me? Anyone? Chalo, forget it. Let me put it in a simple way. If I am having a one line, right? How many different address I can give? Hello? Hello? Are you able to
Yes, sir.
hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I am having a one bit line, how many different address I can give? I can give two address, 0 or 1, right? Your one line can carry maximum only two different values, 0 or 1. Your one line is 1 bit, right? If you are having 1 bit data, how many different things that you can store in that 1 bit? Hello? If you are going to respond like this, we'll stop the lecture. Hello? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
So if I am having a 1 bit data, I can store maximum two values, 0 or 1, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
If I am
sir.
having 2 bit data, I can store how many different values? Hello?
4 values.
Huh? If I am having, I am not going to scold anyone, at least answer. If I am having 2 bit data, how many values I can store?
2.
No 2, it is 4. If I am having 2 bits, I can store 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Get it? Unmute
Yes, sir.
yourself and speak. I am not able to see the studio, so better speak. If I am having 3 bit values, how many different values I can store in 3 bit?
8. 8.
8. Yes, 0001001 like this. Same way, if I am having 20 different bits available with me, how many different values I can address?
40.
It is, if you make it clear, it is suppose 1 bit, then you can save 2. If it is 2 bit, you can address
2
4
raised to
things.
20.
If it is 3, you can store 8 different locations. What that mean? Number raised to 2. Yeah, sorry, 2 raised to n. That many values you can store. समझ पड़ा है?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If I am having
Yes, sir.
3
Yes, sir.
bit, I can store 2 raised to 3 equal to 8. If I am having 4 bit, I can store 2 raised to 4 equal to 16 different values, right?
Yes, sir.
Same way, if I am having 20 bit available with me, I can give 2 raised to 20 different locations. Get it?
Yes.
Hello. समझ पड़ी बच्चा?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We
sir.
are having data bus of 16 bit. We are having address bus of 20 bit. So in that 20 bit, what is the minimum number that I can store? All zeros. Yes. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Same
sir.
way, what is the maximum number that I can store? All ones. Fine.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So forget about it. Currently think about 3-bit data bus, address bus. Suppose I'm having 3-bit address bus, then what happens? The basic address that I can store is 0, 0, 0. And the maximum address that I can store is 1, 1, 1. So my 0, 0, 0 in binary is 0 and my 1, 1, 1 in binary is 7. So if my address bus is of 3-bit, I can give maximum 8 different location 0 to 7. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Get it? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So same way, if my data bus or address bus is of 4-bit, the minimum number that I can store is 0, 0, 0, 0 and maximum number that I can store is 1, 1, 1, 1. 0, 0, 0, 0 is 0 and all 1 is 15. So if my address bus is of 4-bit, I can store 16 different locations starting with 0 to 15. Yes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Same way, if my address bus is of 20-bit, I can store the minimum number as 0, 0, 0, 20 times and 1, 1, 1, 1 maximum number at 20 times. Get it? These many different addresses I can give if my address bus is of 20-bit. If you convert it into numbers, like for 3-bit it is 8, for 4-bit it is 16, for 20-bit it is 1 MB, 1 megabyte. If you convert it into numbers, it will be 1 megabyte. Clear? So
Yes, sir.
in 8086, your maximum memory available is 1 megabyte. You can't access more than 1 megabyte of memory in 8086. એટલે 8086 માં 1 megabyte કરતા વધારે memory આવી શકે નહીં. If I ask you this question in exam, you need to justify why it is not possible to access more than 1 MB, because my address bus is only of 20 bit and using 20 bit you can only access 1 megabyte of memory, not more than that. That's why in 8086 it is not possible to access more than 1 megabyte of memory. Clear?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next is why 8086 is called 16-bit processor. Why it is called 16-bit processor, not 20-bit processor? My address bus is of 20-bit. Then why it is called 16-bit, not 20-bit? The reason is your processor is called based on the processing capacity of your processor. In 8086, our data bus is only of 16-bit. So at a time, only 16-bit data can come to your processor. Okay. Another thing is all the registers available in 8086, as we have already discussed, AX, BX, CX and DX, all registers are of 16-bit. What that means? Your 8086 can at a time perform maximum 16-bit operation, addition, subtraction, anything, but on 16-bit data only. And that's why it is called 16-bit processor. Clear? Hello?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Currently, your all the processor, i5 processor or i9 processor are called 16-bit processor. So now what you understand by 16-bit processor? That means our current processor are having data bus of 64-bit and all the registers available in that processor are of 64-bit. And at a time, our current processor can do operations on 64-bit data. Get it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
This much stuff is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what we have covered, just for the sake of revision, because we are not physically present and I'm not able to see you are getting it or not. What we have covered is your 8086 full processor is divided into two parts: execution unit, bus interface unit. Execution units contain some registers which store some data temporarily. That registers are of size 16-bit. That registers are AX, BX, CX, and DX. Right? Our address bus, A bus is address bus. Address bus is of 20-bit date, 20-bit. So because of the 20-bit, we can access maximum 1 MB of memory at a time. So in 8086, the maximum memory which is available is 1 MB, right? 8086 is called 16-bit microprocessor. Why it is called 16-bit microprocessor? Because the data bus that we are having is of 16-bit, okay? And in execution unit, all the registers are also of 16-bit. So at a time, your processor can do only 16-bit operation. So this is it. That's why it is called 16-bit processor. This much stuff is clear? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Someone is
sir.
asking what happens when we try to store more than 1 MB. It is not possible. You are not having address bus. You are not able to access that memory. So it will be wastage. Right? Suppose my address line is 4-bit, right? So I can have access only to 16-bit block. If I put one block extra nearer to my hard disk, I am not able to access it because I don't have that address line available. So that is not possible. It is simply wastage of memory. Okay. Now, as you can see here, other than your AX, BX, CX, and DX register, you are having 4 more registers available for general purpose. Just give me a minute, huh? 1 minute. So अपन एक join करते हैं लगे हुए हैं बस और चलो. Okay, now if you can see here, there are 4 more registers that can be used for different purpose in 8086. SP is called stack pointer, PP is called base pointer, SI is source index, DI is destination index. This SI and DI are normally used when you are doing some string operations. That's why this SI and DI are used. This is arithmetic logic unit. Here you are having logic gates and all, so it will contain adder circuit, subtractor circuit and all, multiplexer circuit. So all that operations performed here in arithmetic logic unit. Below you are having 2 more options, operands and flags. Again, these both are 16-bit registers. Operand register is 16-bit, flag register is of 16-bit. Okay. Operand registers will do what? Suppose I want to add 2 numbers, so one number will be stored in operand, one will be stored in one registers. And based on the instruction, your arithmetic logical unit will perform some output. Flag registers is used to perform if-else kind of stuff. So it will tell you the conditions. There are total 9 flags available. Okay. This is a 16-bit register, full register. 16-bit registers means you are having 16 bits available. And out of that 16 bits, you are having, how many flags available? 9 flags available. Okay. Out of that 9 flag, if you can see, the U is written, that is undefined. That bits are not used. Bit number 1, 3, 5, and 12, 13, 14, 15 are not used. Other than that, all the bit represent some of the flag. Suppose 0 bit is representing carry flag. So if the output of my addition operation gives me some carry, then this flag will get set. So it will having value 1. If this will having value 0, that means carry is not generated. This is called parity flag. So if parity is needed, this will be treated as 1. If it is not needed, it will be 0. So based on 0 flag. So suppose I want to do some operation that if my answer will be 0, I want to do something. If your program will be like this, what you need to do is you need to write a program so that you can check this flag. If flag register bit number 6 is 1, that means your 0 flag is set. That means your answer is 0. Then you can do something. Otherwise, you don't need to do something. So in programming, this will be used like that way. So these are the flags that you need to remember. Out of these 9 flags, 6 flags are called conditional flags, which can be used for conditional purpose. As you can read it over here, conditional flags in the group are carry flag, parity flag, auxiliary carry flag, zero flag, sign flag, and overflow flag. So these are the flags. These are called conditional flags. 3 remaining flags are called control flags. They are normally used for interrupt and all. Trap flag, interrupt flag, and directional flag. They are used for hardware purpose. They are called control flags. So what we have studied in this architecture, operand is used for operation purpose. Flag register will use in programming purpose, so that we can know some condition in the processor and we can do accordingly. We can do some steps accordingly, right? These flags, we are having 9 flags. Out of 9 flags, 6 flags are conditional flags, 3 flags are control flags. Control flags are normally hardware based. 6 conditional flags you can utilize into your programming. So this is your execution unit. If you go above, it is bus interface unit. If you can see in bus interface unit, there are only 2 things officially: this part and this part. This part is called queue, prefetch queue. Okay. If you can see this prefetch queue, why you need prefetch queue? Can you tell me what it do? Anyone speak? Can anyone tell me what prefetch queue will do? Hello? Hello? Are you still there or we have left the meeting? Hello?
Yes, sir.
ला कोई बोलो नहीं? All of you can unmute yourself and you can speak at least. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so all of you get it? Whatever we have covered below part, that is okay?
Yes, sir.
Execution unit is okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in bus interface unit, we are having prefetch queue. Okay, now prefetch queue is doing what? So suppose my processor is currently executing one instruction, right? Here it will get executed. Fine. Control system ma aavi jai and it will get executed. So suppose I am playing a Mario game. At the end, in the background, everything is converted into 0101. So currently my Mario is there. In next step also I need Mario image, right? So I want to execute Mario again. So when one Mario image is loaded in this part, I already know that my next part also will be having Mario image in my frame. So instead of waiting to finish this execution, I can put it in the queue, so that once it will get over, automatically my next instruction will come. If I don't do this, one Mario part will execute over here. Once it gets over, then I fetch Mario from the memory. So in intermediate part, I need to wait. Samajh padi? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually, prefetch queue will give you the importance of pipeline. It will give you the faster performance. A very, very basic example. If I am supposed to check your file, suppose, okay, and if I call you one by one, Dhruvi, come and give me your file. I will check, I will give it back to you. Okay, then I am having a delay part. Then I will call Chesta, come, give your file, Chesta uthine aave. So it will take a time and I will waste my 5 to 10 seconds, right? This is our normal pipe processing. Fine, if I am executing one instruction at a time. Consider me as your CPU. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now suppose Sawmill is a queue, prefetch queue. So what Sawmill will do? Sawmill will in advance ask Chesta and Krishna to submit their file to Sawmill. And what I am supposed to do, I just need to ask Sawmill, give me next, give me next. So he is already having all the files available. So I don't need to wait. So you can utilize your processor at the maximum level. Get it? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So same thing is done by this prefetch queue. It will fetch the instructions in advance so that your processor is not supposed to wait for the next instruction to execute. The next instruction will be available in advance. Okay. Now the size of this prefetch queue is 6 bytes. ધ્યાનથી સાંભળી લેજો. It will store 6 bytes. What that mean? If my one instruction is of 2 byte, I can prefetch 3 instructions in advance. If my instruction size is 5 bytes, I can fetch only one instruction in advance. Your instruction size can vary depending on the type of instruction that you are using. The size of your prefetch queue is 6 byte. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 written is 1 represent 1 byte. એટલે એક બોક્સમાં ખાલી 8 બીટ જ માય. 8 bit is equal to 1 byte, right? So this one block will contain 1 byte. Now depending on the size of your instruction, you can fetch instructions in advance. Chalo, one example fast. Who will answer me first? I am having two instructions. Sorry, I am having one instruction of 4 byte, one instruction of 1 byte, and one instruction of 3 byte. How many instructions I can prefetch in advance? Fast. One instruction of 4 byte, one instruction of 1 byte, one instruction of 3 byte. How many instructions I can prefetch in advance? Fast, fast. Anyone? Hello? Are you sleeping? Exactly. 2 bytes. Only 2 instructions you can fetch in advance. One is of 4 byte and one is of 1 byte. Then my 5 bytes will get occupied. I am only having now 1 byte available, so I can't incorporate that 3 byte instruction. So maximum bytes that you can incorporate is 2 instructions. That is good. Chalo, nice. તમે લોકો સાંભળતા તો છે એટલું તો ખબર પડી. So this is clear. Now come to this side part. This part is again some registers, but these registers are used for interacting with memory, as you can see. So first is called, okay, now before going to that part, let me make you some interesting thing. Your memory in 8086 is divided into segments. There are 4 different segments in which you have divided your memory. તમે તમારી હાર્ડ ડિસ્કમાં હમણાં ડ્રાઈવ પાડો ને, C drive, D drive, personal drive, extra personal drive, like that your 8086 memory is divided into 4 segments: data segment, code segment, extra segment, and stack segment. Okay, so whatever coding that you are writing for executing your performance is written into code segment, CS. If your code is very lengthy and if it is not able to accommodate into that code segment part, you need extra segment. That's why ES. ES is extra segment where you can extend your code. Data segment is where you can store all your variables. So whatever variables you have declared are stored into DS, data segment. And stack segment are used based on the requirement. Suppose you are doing recursion or some sort of stuff, programming, where your stack is needed, then stack segment is used. Clear? Okay. Now in memory, Mari memory કેટલી છે in 8086? What is the size of my memory in 8086? Can anyone tell me?
16 bit.
16 bit is my data bus. Memory.
1 MB.
1 MB, exactly. Your total memory in 8086 is 1 MB. So out of this 1 MB, I am having stack segment, extra segment, data segment, and stack segment. So my full memory is divided into 4 parts. Okay. Each part is of 64 KB, 64 kilobyte. Why 64 kilobyte? Because if you can see over here, ES, CS, SS, and DS. Extra segment, code segment, stack segment, and data segment. મારી 1 MB ની મેમરીમાં કોડ સેગમેન્ટ ક્યાંથી ચાલુ થાય છે, ડેટા સેગમેન્ટ ક્યાંથી ચાલુ થાય છે, સ્ટેક સેગમેન્ટ ક્યાંથી ચાલુ થાય છે, એનું લોકેશન કોણે સ્ટોર કરેલું હોય? આ રજિસ્ટર્સ. These registers are used to store the starting point of your segment. These are called segment registers, 4 registers. So from where my code segment started, if I want to know, I can know it from this CS register. Get it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Let me show you. This is the memory. So see, this is your full 1 MB memory, and here are the locations. So this is my suppose extra segment which starts from here and here. This is my stack segment, starts from here and here. This is my code segment, starts here and here. So what my code segment register contain? This value 4489. What my stack segment register contain? 5FFF. What my extra segment register contains? 7FFF. Get it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, if you can see their image carefully, you can see that the maximum size of my segment is 64K. Yes.
Yes, sir.
If you add this 64K, 64K, 64K 4 times, it is not 1 MB. You are having some more memory available, blank memory, right? Now, why then I am having segment of 64K only? The reason is your registers are of 16-bit. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Your data, all
Yes.
segment registers are of 16-bit. So if I do 2 raised to 16, it is 64K. Right. So maximum location that I can access using that stack segment is 64K. That's why our all segments are of 64K size. And if you want to access them, you need to use these registers. Fine.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the last part in this block diagram is IP. What is the full form of IP? Internet protocol. Yeah? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yes. La kahin bhi yes yes karega kare. Internet protocol kahan thi aayo? IP is your instruction pointer. IP is instruction pointer. It is also called PC. Priyanka Chopra. Okay, sorry, not Priyanka Chopra. It is program counter. Get it? This register is IP. It is also called PC, program counter. So when my current instruction is executed, my program counter is always pointing to the next instruction to be executed. So based on this value of IP, you can fetch that value into this queue. So IP is what IP is doing. IP instruction pointer is always pointing to the next instruction which I want to execute. Clear? Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Yes,
It is also
Yes,
16,
sir.
It is also 16-bit register. Done.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now the biggest problem comes. આ બધું ભણી લીધું બ્લોક ડાયાગ્રામ સમજાઈ ગયો હવે એક પ્રોબ્લેમ છે ઓકે all of you unmute yourself હવે મને બધાના આન્સર જોઈએ બોલવાનું ચાલુ કરો what is the size of my address bus
16
16
bit.
bit.
address bus
20 bit.
20 bit. What is the size of my all the registers
1 MB.
1 MB.
register
1 MB.
huh 1 MB is my memory, not registers. Registers are internal registers. What is the size of internal registers?
16 bit.
16 bit. All registers are of 16 bit, right? What is the size of my memory again?
1 MB.
1 MB.
1 MB.
1 MB, right? Okay. So, મારે
1
memory,
MB.
yes, yes. So, જો મારે memory માંથી કંઈ access કરવું હોય, all the locations in memory are of 20 bit. So, I need to pass 20 bit data. તો મને ખબર પડે. હું એમ કહું કે memory માં XYZ location પરથી મારે કોઈ data fetch કરવા છે, then I need to tell my CPU that I want this data. Fine? Yes?
Yes.
But એવું મારે પ્રોસેસર ને કેવું હોય તો મારે પ્રોસેસર ને 20 બીટ ડેટા આપવા પડે because my memory is of 20 bit address bus. Yes?
Yes.
But problem is all your registers are only of 16 bit and your processor is only contacting with your registers. Now from that 16 bit, how I can tell my processor that this is the 20 bit data that I want to access because I don't have anything which can store 20 bit data. समझ पड़ी प्रॉब्लम नहीं पड़ी मारे hard disk
No,
માંથી-
sir.
again let me explain you in Gujarati so that it will be more or Hindi. Suppose Hindi is very difficult language to explain, so better go to English. Right? Go with English. Suppose I want to access something from my hard disk. Okay, so I need to tell my processor that on location this I want to access. Fine. if I want to tell my processor that from the location, suppose F, 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 5F, what that mean? F is hexadecimal number and one hexadecimal requires 4 bit. So this is my 20-bit number. 5F is my 20-bit number. Yes?
Yes.
5F in hexadecimal is my 20-bit number. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so suppose I want to access something from this location F, 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 F. Then how can I tell my processor that access something from this location? How can I inform my processor? મારે મારા પ્રોસેસરને કેવું હોય તો મારે આ વસ્તુ I need to store into memory. Yes? એટલે રજિસ્ટરમાં સ્ટોર કરવી પડે તો મારથી કહેવાય એને. If I want to store this number into register, I don't have any register available which can store 20 bit. So maximum number that I can store in my register is F, 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 F. Only 4F. પાંચમો F you can't store. સમજ પડી?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
So are you getting the problem? The problem is how can I inform my processor that access this location, 20-bit location? Huh? I can tell maximum 4 16-bit data, but I need to give 20-bit data to my processor, right? So that is the problem. The solution of this problem is this. Now look at this thing carefully. This will definitely gonna come in your exam also, and this will be needed as far as normal logic also. So suppose this is the location. Normally instruction pointer is the pointer which point to next instruction, right? So it will contain maximum 16-bit data. So this is 16-bit data, 4214. So my IP value is 4214. Hello, समझ पड़े थे? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I need to tell my processor that my next speak loudly or unmute yourself. મને સંભળાતું નહીં. Hello.
પિયા આજે બારે આવવાનું છે.
हैं? चलो, ignore. Now, suppose I need to tell my processor that my next instruction will be over here. Then that instruction is stored in IP. So what IP will contain? Value, but it is 20-bit value. આ જેટલા નંબર તમને દેખાય છે બધા નંબર હેક્સાડેસિમલમાં છે. હેક્સાડેસિમલમાં એક ડિજિટ 4 બીટ બરાબર થાય. એટલે 4 છે એના માટે 4 બીટ, 2 છે એના માટે 4 બીટ, 1 છે એના માટે 4 બીટ અને 4 છે એના માટે 4 બીટ. 4 4s are 16. So this is my 16-bit number. IP4214 is my 16-bit number, right? Now I need to tell my processor that actually execute this location. So what happens in the background is your code segment CS is my code segment. So in code segment, my code segment starts with 348A, right? My IP is called displacement. What IP is called? So my code segment starts from this location, as you can see here on top, sorry, at the bottom. So your code segment starts with 348AH, hexadecimal number, right? What your processor do in the background, every time when you give any IP value, it will put 0 at the end of that CS. So my current CS value is 348A and it will put 0 at the end. So now my number becomes hexadecimal number. And this 0 is called hardwired 0. Why we need this hardwired 0? To convert our 16-bit number into 20-bit number. So now what happens? My CS value is 348A. Because of hardwired 0, I have make it 348A0. I will add my IP into this 4214. And what total I will get? 38AB4. Now 38AB4 is a 20-bit number, and if you can see over here, 38AB4 is 20-bit number in memory. So here is my next instruction located. stored. This is how I can get my 20-bit number. Enough for today. Now let me have some conversation. Okay, all of you, can you respond by unmuting yourself?
Yes, sir.
All of you. બોલો કે જાગતા છો બધા? Are you alive?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what
Yes,
we
sir.
have discussed in the end, the thing is all the registers. હવે ધ્યાનથી સાંભળો. And you can listen this video again also later on, because I think you people need to repeat it, right? એક વારમાં ખબર પડે એવું તો લાગતું નહીં મને તમને જોઈને, but still.
Ah, sir.
But પડી જશે. Thing is, all the registers in 8086 are of 16-bit. Our actual memory is of 20-bit. So if I want to access something from my physical memory, I need to give 20-bit number to my processor. Then only it can execute it. Fine. તો હવે 16-bit data માંથી મારે 20-bit data બનાવવા કેવી રીતે? That is the problem. So what happens, as we have discussed, our full memory is divided into 4 segments. Whatever segment you want to access, that segment registers you need to take as the base. ત્યાંથી તમારો segment ચાલુ થાય. Suppose I want to access something from data segment, then DS register is your data segment. ત્યાંથી એમાં જે 16-bit નો number હોય, from there your data segment starts. Suppose my data segment value is 1111, then this 41 is my starting point of data segment. In physical location, that value will be 11110, કારણ કે 20-bit નો એડ્રેસ છે. અને ત્યાંથી મારે કંઈ પણ યુઝ કરવું હોય, I need to use displacement. That displacement comes in the form of IP or another register. So what we'll do, we'll add this number with our base register. Suppose the DS is my base register, which is having value 11110, and suppose my displacement is only 45. So what happens? 0045 will be added with 11110. What answer I will get? 55111. So 111 This is the value which I received after adding these two numbers. So if I go to data segment on this location, I received whatever things I required from this location. This is how it actually calculates. समझ पड़ी?
Yes, sir.
And to convert
Yes,
this 16-bit number into 20-bit number, it is using hardwired 0. Hardwired 0 is used to convert your 16-bit number into 20-bit number. What happens on the base register, like code segment register, data segment register, at the end you are adding 0. So the number will convert it into 20-bit number. Then you are adding your 16-bit data and you will get your actual value, and which is called displacement. This is how it works. Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Though it is little bit difficult to understand, you can watch this video again later on and you will get it. Fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let's take a break of 10 minutes. Okay, it is 9:50. We'll again join at 10 and we'll do some coding. Fine?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
બધાને કહી દઉં હું 11 વાગે પાછો આવવાનો નથી. 10 વાગે આવી જજો, પાણી વાણી પીઆવો. 10 વાગે we'll do programming again. Okay? Okay, ચાલો. Okay. All of you, please inform your friends to join at 10. Your last time you करसे. Last time people called me after 11. That what about the second class? So better tell them to join soon. Meanwhile, let me share your screen. Okay. There are 41 who have currently joined, so please inform all to join. ग्रुप में आगे मैसेज लखी दो तमारू प्राइवेट ग्रुप पर्सनल ग्रुप जे भी ग्रुप हो एमा के ज्वाइन करो जल्दी जल्दी. And once I get the recording back, I will send it in the group. So if you would like to see the recording again, you can go through that. Fine, and we'll make the right open to all so anyone can see.
Sir,
Hello, yes,
happy birthday.
Abar.
Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
पार्टी क्या है?
હમણાં જ છે અહીંયા
આ પાર્ટી થોડી કહે સર.
Happy birthday, sir.
આભાર 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 કોલેજમાં છે એમ.
Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Happy birthday, sir.
આભાર, thank you.
Happy birthday, sir.
birthday,
God
Sahib.
bless na thao.
Happy birthday.
Side party. Side party.
પાર્ટી તમે આવતા હોય તો બોલો.
તો થેન્ક યુ નહીં ચાલે.
નહીં એકવાર
ચાલો આવ્યા.
કોલેજ આવો ત્યારે પાર્ટી બસ.
હમણાં કે તો હમણાં આવી ગઈ.
ના એવું એવું
હમણાં
ખોટું
કેવું તો
કામ
હમણાં આવ્યા.
ના, એવું ખોટું
સર
કામ.
નવરાત છે આવી જઈએ ચાલો.
ના ના ના
લખાણમાં આપી દેજો લખાણમાં. ગિફ્ટમાં કોરોના
હું કેવું
ગિફ્ટમાં કોરોના
ચાલો.
સર એ વાળા નહીં જોઈતી બી વાળાને આપી દો.
બધાને મળશે. સબકો મિલેગા પાર્ટી મળશે તો બધાને મળશે.
સર આ રેકોર્ડિંગ શેર કરી મૂકજો.
रुको जरा सबमिट करो.
રેકોર્ડિંગ સેવ જ છે મળશે જ તમને રેકોર્ડિંગ ટેન્શન ન લો.
હા બસ.
ब्रा रुको जरा सबमिट.
હા.
Okay, I am currently sharing the screen. Are you able to see the screen?
No sir.
Okay.
નો સર.
Wait a minute. I am sharing from Ethan sir's login. So wait a minute. Yes. Okay. Initially, I was planning to. Okay. Now I think you are able to see, right? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Initially, I was planning to cover full program, but I don't think now you are having the capacity to understand full program. So we'll not cover full program right now. We'll only teach you the basics and give you some assignment. We'll discuss the full program in the next session. Fine?
હા સર.
That overload may on. Try to get it in doses. So that would be
સર
more
આ
better.
પ્રોગ્રામમાં કઈ ખબર જ નથી પડતી.
બધું ચાલુ ક્યાં થયું કે ખબર પડે થશે ચાલુ હજુ.
આ કઈક ડેટા સેગમેન્ટ ને હું કઈક લખ્યું છે ને તમે?
અરે એ તો ડિફોલ્ટ ટેમ્પલેટ છે. This is the default template that we'll get.
એ કઈ રીતે આવે સર?
Wait a minute, we'll tell you. Okay, now it is I think quite clear that our memory is divided into 4 parts: data segment, core segment, stack segment, and extra segment. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
whatever variable you want, now this is assembly language programming, and this is the format that you are supposed to use. So if you want to write down some data variables, you need to write down all the variables in this part. Like in C, your first line after main should be your variable declaration. Same way in assembly language of 8086, whatever you want to write down variables that you need to write down in this part. Stack segment we normally don't use. So if you delete it, then also it will work. If you keep it as it is. No need to do something. Fine. And whatever code that you would like to write, you need to write down in code segment. So all the segment in 8086 will start with code name, segment is the keyword, and it ends with ends. Okay. and your main program ends with this and start. The start is your starting point and start is your ending point. So this is how you can write down the program. Now I will tell you one program, but first of all call everyone to join first. It is 69 right now. कोई बाकी हो तो कर दे, तो मैं वही प्रोग्राम बताऊं तुमने. And it will take only 15 minutes, not more than that. Baaki no will cover in next lecture because then it will get overloaded, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so we'll not cover much, we'll only cover the basic stuff. So we'll tell you again everything. The things which we have already discussed, we'll discuss the same thing with the help of emulator. This is your emulator. So it will emulate your 8086 processor. So જેવું તમને અહીંયા દેખાય છે એવું actually hardware માં processor માં અંદર થાય. This is what we are trying to do. So whatever coding you are doing here, what happens in the background in the processor, that you can see through this emulator. That's why we are using this emulator. Fine? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, should we start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me open one program which I have already prepared. This is the program. Okay, so this is my first program. All of you are requested to go through this coding again using this video. We'll share the link in the group. Later on, you can copy the same program in your own emulator and you can run it. Okay, if you can see over here in data segment, I have declared two array. One variable called count. After name of the variable, this is the name of my variable, array1. I have written DW. There are different assembler directives. This is called assembler directives. It is used to tell your processor that which kind of memory you want to use. In C, you are using integer, float, right? Data type. Same way, this is my data type. Integer occupies integer number, float occupies floating number. So same way here in assembly language, if I write DW, that means data word. I want to store 16-bit data. If I write DB, data byte, then I am saying my processor that I want to use byte, 8-bit data. समझ पड़ी? Hello?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
हाँ सर.
Array1 is the name of my variable. DW is the data type in context of C language. Here in assembly language, it is called assembler directives. It will tell my processor that my array1 is a variable which will be storing 16-bit data every time. You can see over here, in this array, I am storing 5 values, 1111H, 2222H, 3333H. So this value will be stored in memory. All are 16-bit values. Fine? Yes?
Yes sir.
Array2 is my next variable. The variable is again of the same type, DW, so it will store 16-bit data. 5 location will be occupied and currently all location will have 0 values. DUP 0 will fill it with 0 values. So halma array2 ma kai nathi, it is 0. I am declaring one more variable called count. It is again of 16-bit variable. It is having value 0005H, hex value 5. Clear? So I have declared 3 variables in my data segment. Done? Hello? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Suppose this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, stack segment, I have not done anything. So it is actually not useful. You can delete it also if you want. Then start my code segment. It start with start colon. Now these first 2 lines are always needed in your program. If you don't write these 2 lines and if you have declared some data, you will get error. What this line will do, these 2 lines will tell my processor that from which location my data segment started. Data segment ક્યાંથી ચાલુ થાય તે મારે મારા પ્રોસેસરને કેવું હોય. So for that purpose these 2 lines are used. Move AX, @data, move DS, AX. @data is the keyword which I have used in data segment, data. That's why it is @data. So whatever the location of my data segment will stored into my AX register, and from that AX register, it will be copied into my data segment register. So from this location of data segment, my data segment get started. Okay. The execution of my program always start with code segment. Your program will automatically search code segment. But from where your data segment started, to tell your processor this thing, you need to write down these two lines. Now I will show you by running the program. So click on emulate, minimize this. Okay, now you can see this carefully. Move AX, 00710H. This is @ data value. This is my next instruction. Move AX, DS. Sorry, DS, X. What move instruction do? Move instruction copy the content of right hand side into left hand side. Clear? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Can you reply? What is the work of move instruction?
sir.
It will copy the content of right hand side operand into left hand side. Done?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
હું ભણાવવાનું બંધ કરી દેવા બોલો તો
કઈ સમજ જ નહીં પડતી સર.
હે
સર કઈ ખબર જ નહીં પડતી.
નહીં ખબર પડી કઈ
ના, sir.
ઓકે એ મને ખબર નથી કઈ ખબર પડશે નહીં સો વિલ સ્ટાર્ટ વિથ સ્ક્રેચ ચાલો will let me teach you from there. Okay, in our normal assembly language program, this is a fully fledged new language. The way you have studied C language, same way this is your assembly language. Fine. Now if you want to store something in variable a in my C language, what I am supposed to do? Integer a equal to 10. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Same way in assembly language, here you are actually storing everything into direct memory. So you are directly dealing with memory. So if I want to declare some variable, suppose array, then I need to tell my processor that my array is of what size? 8 bit no array છે, 16 bit no array છે, 24 bit no છે. 24 bit to possible nathi. In 8086 you are only having 16 bit data or 8 bit data, right? So I need to tell my processor that I am using 8 bit data or 16 bit data. So that's why we are using DW or DB. क्योंकि से DB લખેલું હોય તો 8 bit data store કરશે, DW લખેલું હોય તો 16 bit કરશે. This is the syntax. Name of your variable, data bit or data word, અને પછી તમારા જે વેલ્યુ તમારે સ્ટોર કર્યો તે વેલ્યુ લખી દેવાની. Clear? So in data segment we declare all the variables. That is clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That is
હવે
clear.
તમે મેઇન ની અંદર તમારો પ્રોગ્રામ લખતા, right? Same way તમારો program in 8086 you need to write down in code segment. So now in code segment we'll start writing our program. Fine? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Fine, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. હવે મારે કોડ સેગમેન્ટમાં કોડ લખું તે પહેલા મારે મારા પ્રોસેસરને કહેવું પડે કે તને જો કોઈ બી વેરિયેબલ જોઈશે ને ફ્યુચરમાં તો એ વેરિયેબલ મેં ક્યાં લખેલા છે ડેટા સેગમેન્ટમાં. બરાબર? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, where your data segment starts, it always depend on your processor. Data segment अलग-अलग टाइम में अलग-अलग जગ્યા પરથી ચાલુ થઈ શકે. એટલે મારે મારા પ્રોસેસરને કહેવું પડે કે મારું ડેટા સેગમેન્ટ ક્યાંથી ચાલુ થતું છે અને મેં મારા વેરિયેબલ ક્યાં સ્ટોર કર્યા છે. એવું મારે મારા પ્રોસેસરને કહેવું હોય તો તમારે આ બે લાઈન લખવી પડે. આ બે લાઈન શું કરે? @data segment માં જે વેલ્યુ હશે તેને AX માં નાખશે અને પછી AX માંથી DS માં નાખશે. Because we are not having any instruction which can copy of data directly from data to data segment. Fine? સમજ પડી? આપણી પાસે એવી કોઈ ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન નથી કે જે ડેટા સેગમેન્ટની વેલ્યુને ડાયરેક્ટ DS માં નાખી શકે. એટલે આપણે શું કરીએ? @data ની વેલ્યુને પહેલા AX માં નાખીએ અને પછી AX ની વેલ્યુને DS માં નાખીએ. So these two lines are doing what? These two lines are storing the value of data segment into data segment register so that my processor will get to know that કે આ ભાઈએ 3 વેરિયેબલ ડિક્લેર કરેલા છે અને 3 વેરિયેબલ ડેટા સેગમેન્ટમાં આ લોકેશન ઉપર સ્ટોર છે. ક્લિયર?
હા, sir. Clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir.
Okay, now next. So we'll not go to program right now, we'll go to emulate. Why I'm going to emulate? tell you. Wait a minute. Now, first of all, understand this emulator. The right hand part that you are seeing, this full right hand part that you are seeing, cursor chhe, this is your actual program. Fine? Yes? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir.
The middle part that you are seeing is the machine language conversion of your program. So if you write move x comma something, it will convert it into binary language. So this full part in the middle is representing binary conversion of your program. Clear? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So my first line, move ax comma 00710h. This is my first line, is actually converted into 3 lines in binary. So this is my 3-byte instruction. Clear? Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And on the left hand panel, whatever you are seeing is the register. So whatever we are doing are actually reflected towards our registers. Fine. Yes.
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 So my
Yes,
first
sir.
line in the program is move ax comma @data. Default your @data is 0071h. So when I execute my first line, if you can see X register carefully, it will be loaded into AX. See 00100710 આવી ગયું. Done? Yes.
Yes.
And you can see that every time your IP value will get changed. IP value always pointed towards your next instruction. So currently it is pointing to move ds comma ax instruction. Though I have not executed, but IP is pointing towards that, as we have studied in the theory. Yes. And instruction move ds comma ax is of 2 byte. તમને દેખાય છે કે middle part માં ખાલી 2 જ જગ્યા ઓક્યુપાય થયેલી છે, બરાબર? મશીન લેંગ્વેજ માં. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now what it will do? This instruction will transfer your AX register's value into DS register. So when I click on single step, just see DS register, bottom, second from the bottom. Now the value is changed and it is 0710. Yes.
Yes,
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Done. Now from
Yes,
here
sir.
you can access any memory of your computer. मतलब 8086 एक MB ની તમારી મેમરી છે, એમાં તમારે જે પણ એક્સેસ કરવું હોય અહીંયાથી થાય. So suppose this thing is clear, data segment is assigned. એટલે આપણા બધા ડેટા હાલમાં મેમરીમાં સ્ટોર છે અને ક્યાં સ્ટોર છે? ડેટા સેગમેન્ટ પર સ્ટોર છે. ડેટા સેગમેન્ટ ક્યાં છે? 0710 ઉપર છે, રાઈટ? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
now
sir.
what I will
Yes,
do, I will search that location 0710:0000. These two numbers, the first is called base address, second is called displacement. આ બંને વસ્તુ એડ થાય એટલે તમારું 20 બીટ નો નંબર બને. તો આ કેસમાં 20 બીટ નો નંબર કયો બનશે? 07100 plus all 0. Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir.
This we have studied in the classroom. All the registers are of 16 bit, okay, but your physical address is of 20 bit. So if you want your 20 bit address, you need to add base address with displacement. So here my base address is 0710. My displacement is 0000. If I add these two numbers, I will get my 20 bit number. And if I press enter, just see in the middle part, dhyanthi jo. What happens? Okay, and I am coming over here. Wait a minute, 0. Let me run this, so you will get it. Okay, okay. If I click here, 0710:00, enter. See my first location. Up yellow ma middle ma line jo, it is 07100. That is our physical address. Yes. Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
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 And if you can see the value stored at that location, 1111 2222. In 8086, your all the memory having the box of 8 bit. એટલે એક બોક્સમાં 8 જ બીટ સ્ટોર થાય 8086 માં, બરાબર? તો 07100 ઉપરથી આપણે એરે 1 સ્ટોર કરવાનું ચાલુ કરેલું. જો તમે કોડ ધ્યાનથી જોવો તો let me show you the code. If you can see this code, in array 1 at 0000 we have stored 1111h. એટલે પહેલા 11 સ્ટોર થશે લોઅર બાઇટમાં, બીજું 11 સ્ટોર થશે હાયર બાઇટમાં, 22 સ્ટોર થશે લોઅર બાઇટમાં, 22 સ્ટોર થશે હાયર બાઇટમાં, like this. So if you go over this part 1111 2222 3333 444 and count will be stored after array 2. If you can see here, your count variable is stored after array 2. So array 2 ની બીજી 10 બાઇટ ઓક્યુપાય થઈ જશે, પછી તમારો કાઉન્ટ વેરિયેબલ સ્ટોર હશે અને એમાં શું સ્ટોર હશે? 0005h. યસ? હેલો હેલો?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
યસ? સમજ પડે છે? So if
Yes,
you
sir.
go over here and if you see after this location, on location 07114, the 05 is stored, which is your variable count. Done. These first 10 bytes are used for, અહીંયા સુધીની bytes used for array 1. This is for array 2 અને પછી count variable. This is how it is stored in memory. And the left hand side part in this middle part is representing physical memory, 20-bit number. All the numbers are represented in the form of hex. Clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
ચાલો,
Yes, sir.
આટલું ઇનફ છે આજના માટે, બરાબર? ઘરે જાઓ, એટલે ઘરે જ છો બધા. Just open the emulator, copy this same program, try to run it, single step, see what happens and what you are getting. Okay? હમણાં
Okay, sir.
વધારે મગજ વાપરવાની જરૂર નથી કે શું થાય છે, કેમ થાય છે. Just execute it and observe what happens. That's it. Just try to evaluate yourself કે તમને કેટલી ખબર પડે છે ને શું ખબર પડે છે. But before jumping towards this program, you need to understand 4 instructions because we are using 4 different instructions here. એટલે તમને printf જ નહીં આવડતું હોય, તમે C માં પહોંચી જાઓ અને પ્રિન્ટ કરવા જાઓ તો પ્રિન્ટ નહીં થાય, બરાબર? તેવી જ રીતે તમારે અહીંયા કંઈ કામ કરવું હોય તો તમારે assembly language ખબર હોવી જોઈએ. So if you want to do something with assembly language, you first need to understand the instructions. So write down today's assignment. Assignment number 1. What is the assignment number 1?
Sir.
What we have studied?
Sir.
8086. Draw the pin diagram of 8086.
સર કમેન્ટ માં ક્વેશ્ચન છે તો
Draw the pin diagram of 8086. એટલે draw નહીં કરશો તો ચાલશે, શોર્ટ કટમાં જોઈ લેજો ખાલી. It is a 40 pin chip. Pin diagram is different and your logical block is different. Logical blocks માં આપણે અંદર શું આવે તે સમજીએ. Physically it is a chip which contains 40 pins. So I want you people to draw that 40 pins diagram. What that each pin will contain. So first assignment task is what? Draw chip diagram of 8086. Done? हाँ तो बोलो.
हाँ
हाँ હું પૂછવા નહીં આવવાનો, જાતે જ કરવાનું. Just keep it.
ચિપ ડાયાગ્રામ પછી સર
This is your first assignment. Second assignment is you need to first study below 5 instructions. Write it out that 5 instructions. Instruction number 1, LEA. આ પ્રોગ્રામમાં છે LEA, load effective address. Second instruction that you need to study is INC, increment. INC, increment. Third instruction that you are supposed to study is loop, LOOP, loop. Fourth instruction that you are supposed to study is INT. INT, okay, INT is interrupt. And then simply run this program and try to analyze what this tool is doing, what happens, and that all sort of stuff. તમે જાતે કેટલું એક્સપ્લોર કરો તે મારે ચેક કરવું છે. So we'll see how good you are in observing and all sort of stuff. From next lecture, we'll not study further. We'll simply discuss this program in detail. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
એટલે કોઈને
હા, sir.
કોઈને કંઈ જ ખબર નહીં પડે તો ચિંતા કરવી નહીં. We'll study this again, full program.
Okay,
But
sir.
before
Okay, sir.
coming to the next lecture, at least prepare these 4 instructions. તો આમાં ખબર પડશે. Fine?
હા, sir.
हाँ सर
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is it for today. I will send you the link on your WhatsApp group so you can watch this video again and type this program
Fine,
also.
sir.
Fine?
Okay.
Yes.
ओके सर
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Bye, bye.
Sir.
Bye.
हैव अ नाइस डे
Today's lectures are over.
Okay, bye. Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
Take care.
हैप्पी बर्थडे
Thank
सर
you. Thank you.
Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you. પાર્ટી આપીશું. બરાબર રેકોર્ડ રાખો. ચાલો. બાય બાય.
સર પાર્ટીમાં ક્વિઝ નહીં આપી દેતા.
અલ્પેશ જરાક લેટ બેઠા
આવજો.
આપે નીકળ ને.
રેકોર્ડિંગ ચાલુ છે અર્જુન ભાઈ